What's going on there, folks? Good evening, early evening here in California. It is November 21st, 2020, about 5:30 p.m. West Coast time here, and got the earthquake that struck the Chile area just a short time ago. 6.2 earthquake down there in the Chile region, once again, right along this Peru-Chile trench area. Very active historical earthquake area, and also in an area where one of the, actually, the biggest earthquake in the world, as far as like recorded history goes, that took place back in 1964, I believe. I can't remember the exact magnitude, but it was way up there. Anyway, this area very historically active is the word I'm trying to spit out. But today, just a 6.2. I don't believe there's going to be any type of tsunami statement with this. But as always, I do like to check that out. I don't see anything. See the general historical activity just massive out there in that region. The depth of this earthquake looks like about 20.1 km, kilometers below the surface. So somewhat deep, not super deep, but it's down there. Reviewed. Looks like a few folks reported feeling that as well. I do not see any type of tsunami statement, but I'll check this out real quick just to check it out. Yeah, nothing. Absolutely nothing, which is good. Most of the time, we're not going to see a tsunami with a 6.2 unless it's in specific areas where it could trigger a tsunami. But in this general area, you're probably looking at anything maybe like 7.5 and above that would potentially trigger a tsunami in that general area. Over the last 24 hours within that region, a couple smaller earthquakes there, 4.8 or 4.4, and a 5.6, I should say. So some movement down there, up there. Man, I am just, wow, I'm out of touch. Still waiting on my COVID results, folks. No news is good news? I don't know. Anyway, it should be coming up pretty soon here. So, activity out there, no doubt, over the 24-hour period here. The rest of the globe looking absolutely minimal when it comes to activity up here in the north part of the Pacific Ocean area, Pacific Plate area. Some movement around the Indonesia islands and also up into the Philippines. There are quite a few fours. The fours are the magic number on the board, it looks like. Pretty much all over the place there, including up around the Himalaya mountains and into parts of, looks like Afghanistan up there. You can see a couple small earthquakes up there. Some four-pointers in that region as well. What do we got up here around the Idaho area? Let's go ahead and go with the 2.5 and above here, or all magnitudes, I should say. Take a look at the latest quake up there in Idaho. A little 2.7 popping off shortly after that 6.2 down there in the South America area. Some movement up here in the San Francisco Bay Area, right smack dab on the, it just looks like it just barely off. I'm talking like a hairline off of the San Andreas fault system here. This area here, no stranger to producing some major quakes there. Looks like a pair of 1.4s. Roughly, it looks like maybe within a mile of each other, and all within the about a mile range, half-mile range of the San Andreas fault there. Looking at the depth of these earthquakes there, 6.0. 6 kilometers below the surface, and also 2.4, so a little variable in the depth below the surface there as far as quake activity goes. Don't see too much movement up here, but it looks like it's changing right now, which is keep an eye on it. Southern California looking pretty shaky down there around the San Jacinto fault area. That's a specific fault down here, stretches throughout the San Jacinto fault, or San Jacinto mountain range area. Also some more microquakes over here near Murrieta, and up here to the north near Riverside as well. No major swarming to report. There looks like there may be a little cluster of quakes there in this specific region here. Like I said, the San Jacinto fault area. But overall, this region has definitely seen a pretty good amount of activity over the last few days. But that's kind of a hot spot. Sometimes we see swarms there. Not as often as we do down here in the Salton Sea area, but definitely something to keep a close eye on there with the Pacific Plate and the pressure that it creates over here along the San Andreas Fault, the major plate boundary there. As far as the North American side, looking pretty quiet, except for up here around the Ridgecrest area. A little increase in earthquake activity, but overall dwindling from last year's July 4th and July 5th quakes. Nevada seen about the same. Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot shaking out there in the desert. Just some microquakes and whatnot. Oklahoma, the hot spot of activity as well when it comes to earthquakes. Out there looks like a few, quite a few ones, maybe a couple twos out there as well. Let's see, what else do we have out here? Yeah, just going to have to keep an eye over here on the South America region. As far as Yellowstone activity goes here, we'll check that out real quick here. Pretty quiet up there in the Yellowstone National Park. Still waiting on their webcam to get fixed or back online. It's just not active at the moment. I can't seem to access it. Tremor activity, I'm not for sure if it's going to be updated right now because it is kind of early. Normally it's about 6 or 7 o'clock in the evening my time before this map gets updated. So as of right now, the 21st, it shows no tremors. We can go back and check yesterday real quick and get a general idea of what's been happening. And see some movement down there in southern Oregon. So I'm sure that once the data comes in off the tremor along the Cascadia subduction zone for today, we will see the more than likely the activity that we're seeing right now in southern Oregon. Not a whole lot. 200 looks like 200 epicenters of tremor. And yeah, kind of interesting there, no doubt. What else, folks? Not a whole lot going on right now. Like I said, I'm just kind of dealing with the dealing with some COVID issues. Not for sure if I'm negative or positive yet. I guess we will see. I'm kind of waiting on it. Definitely kind of waiting on it. Let me check Hawaii out here real quick. I haven't seen the. Let's see here. Let's go back to the all magnitudes. Doesn't look as active as it has been. The Kilauea volcano up here still showing some summit or crater activity. I did read a little article about the activity there, talking about the increase in earthquakes during the month of October and how the potential elevated ground temperatures and minor releases of gases are still found in the vicinity of the 2018 Lower East Rift Zone fissures. Good amounts of, small amounts of hydrogen sulfide and carbon dioxide. These are expected to be long-term, similar conditions following the 1955 eruption for years to decades. Let's see here. I was looking at the deformation there, and they did talk about it. Long-term trend of deformation at the Kilauea Summit and Middle East Rift Zone continue to show inflation consistent with magma supply to the volcano's shallow storage system. So we're getting a little recharge there at the Kilauea volcano. GPS stations on Kilauea's south flank continue to show elevated rates of seaward motion. The HVO continues to carefully monitor all data streams along with the Kilauea East Rift Zone and South Flank for important changes, folks. So definitely continuing activity, but currently I still believe it's green. The color code is green. Alert level is normal. But there's still activity continuing today, just not as much as what we had seen last week or so. Just a little decline in earthquake activity out there. But it can always change. All it takes is one specific movement of the Pacific Plate out here, and then pretty soon you got a bunch of lava or a bunch of magma flowing up to these volcanoes. All right, folks, enjoy your Saturday evening. And if anything new pops up, I will jump on here, do an update. I was going to do an update a little bit later tonight, but I figured I'd go ahead and do it with the 6.2 magnitude announcement there in Chile. That looks like it's showing up also there in Southern California. You can see the P waves there starting to pick up on the seismograph station there around the San Diego area, and of course that may show up on other stations as well. There's the Chile station there. I didn't see this earthquake come in though. I didn't see it come into the seismograph station, so I'm not exactly for sure how impressive it was on the seismographs there, but nonetheless, these waves will travel around the globe there and make itself known. Alright guys, have a good night. Stay safe out there. Interesting times, and it's just day by day is getting it's getting real, that's for sure. Alright, we'll chat to you guys a little bit later. Stay safe, everyone.